Okay. So this is the assignment question I have given to you in the last class. Write a Python program to count the number of even and odd numbers from 1 to n using while loop. So let me copy this. Okay. Now more than 150 students are there. Okay, fine. So this, let me explain this. So let me run this first. The output I am giving, like enter n value, I am giving 10. I am giving 1 to 10 numbers. We have the even number, 5 numbers are even because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? So we will get 5 even numbers. So in between 1 to 10. And the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So that is also 5. You can give that up to 100 to 1000, whatever it may be. That's your wish completely. Okay. So anyway, let me explain this. I will take a drawing materials. Please wait. So here I am taking in n equal to int of input of enter n value. So now I have taken like a 10. Now I have taken like a 10. So this will be stored in n. This will be stored in n. So that means n value is 10 because I am taking the variable here n equal to. So I equal to 1. So I equal to 1 means it is a iterative variable. So by default I am taking a 1 and even and odd equal to 0, 0 because because I have to count, I have to iterate the even and odd values, and by default we have to take 0, otherwise we will get an error, and because it is undefined like that. Okay. So while I less than or equal to n, I value is 1. So just write like 1 less than or equal to n. So what is the n value? So n value is 10. So 1 less than or equal to 10 is condition is absolutely true. So then it will go to the loop. So that means this part will be executed. This is the loop body. This is the loop body, and this is the outer while loop. This is the statement outer while loop. That means this is called indentation. So Python always follows indentation. Okay. So based on indentation only it will work. It cannot be started with any curly braces and closing curly braces. Okay. So let me take if I modulus 2 equal to 0. I value is 1. 1 modulus 2 equal to 0. 1 modulus 2 equal to 0 is condition false because 1 modulus 2 value is 1. Okay, you know already. Okay. So else part will be executed odd plus equal to 1. That means odd plus equal to 1 means odd equal to odd plus 1. Odd equal to odd plus 1 means odd equal to 0, 0 plus 1. That means odd count will be there 1. So the first iteration it will take I value as 1. Now it will take up to condition will be executed up to 10 times. So now I will be incremented. So I equal to I plus 1 means I value will be 2 now. So here instead of 1, now again it will check the 2 because while loop ending I equal to I plus 1 means again it will check the condition. Okay, because while loop terminated with I equal to I plus 1 line. Now again it will be 2 now. So 2 less than or equal to 10. Yes, condition is again true. 2 modulus 2 equal to 0. Yes, 2 modulus 2 is 0 only. 0 double equal to 0 is true. Even plus equal to 1. That is even equal to even plus 1. Even equal to 0. 0 plus 1 means 1. Even equal to even plus 1. Even equal to 1. That means even count is 1. So that means whenever 1 is there, odd count will be 1. Even count is there, even will be 1 now. So then it cannot perform the else operation because 2 modulus 2 equal to 0 condition is true. It will not execute the else part then. And I equal to I plus 1 here. I equal to I plus 1 means I already 2. 2 plus 1 means now it will be 3. Now it will be 3. It will again check the condition for I less than or equal to n. That means 3 less than or equal to 10. Again, this condition is also true. So it will enter into the body if condition 3 modulus 2 equal to 0, 3 modulus 2 not equal to 0, then it will execute else part odd equal to odd plus 1. Odd already there 1, 1 plus 1, odd equal to odd plus 1 means 1 plus 1, odd equal to odd plus 1, odd value is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So now odd plus 1 means odd value stored like a 2 only. Okay, so in that way it will perform up to 10 numbers. So after that we are printing the even numbers count and odd numbers count. That's the reason I'm getting 5 and 5. Okay, so after whenever the loop will be terminated, for example, whenever I incremented to 11, 11 less than or equal to 10 becomes false. Okay, so that means it will be false means the output will not be executed, it will be skipped from that loop, and then two print statements will be executed. Okay, so this is the example what I have given in the last class. So okay, now if you have any doubts, please let me know, and otherwise I will move to the today's concepts. Okay, hope you are clear everyone. I think nobody is asking doubts. So more than 200 students are there right now. Fine, that's good. Okay, and let me move to the today's concepts. And before going to the today's concept, let me see, once we will check the syllabus. Okay, because we have covered a lot of topics in unit 1 and unit 2 itself. Okay, so based on that I will continue the same. So you can listen, you can check here. We already completed all these two chapters. So here we already completed with if else, nested if, decision statements. Okay, here 1 minute. I don't want to take tour right now. Okay, so here it is there if else, nested decision statements. Logical operators we are completed. Boolean variables also completed. Repetition structures also completed. Okay, so while loop and for loop. Now I will explain the concept called calculating a running total and input validation loops. So this is two are same concepts actually, and we have completed the nested loops concept. Nested loops are mainly used for pattern programs. Okay, so nested loops also we completed. Okay, so as the same like for loop, inside the for loop is nothing but nested for loop. In the same way we can do the nested while loop also. While loop inside the another while is called a nested while loop. Okay, hope you understand guys. Let me move, and after that we have only these concepts: comparing strings, okay, and calculating a running total, input validation loops. These three topics completed. Unit 1 is completed, but here you can check unit 2 also. Here we already completed the most of the topics: control statement, definite iteration for loop, okay, formatting text for output. So these are nothing but definite iteration means for example you are doing like 1 to 10 numbers printing, that is called definite iteration only. Okay, indefinite means for example if you're giving like infinite loops like that. Okay, so and again they specified selection if else and all, but here also already he is mentioned in the unit 1, but once again he is telling that one selection if and if else statement, the while loop, already these are all completed. Okay, so actually we have to cover string and number systems also we completed in this chapter. Okay, strings and number systems also completed, and here we have only accessing characters and substring strings and text files and data encryption. Only three concepts we have in unit 3. Remaining all concepts are completed. Okay, you can check here, and I already forwarded the notes also. Okay, and we also completed the unit 3 concepts list and dictionaries also. Okay, so anyway I will move to the topic called calculating a running total. This is actually a syllabus topic, but you should understand first what is calculating running total means. You have to calculate total, okay, and you have to validate input validation loops. For these two topics I will cover a single example. Okay, so otherwise I will give two examples. You can understand whatever it may be that is feasible for you. Okay, so let me explain now. Okay, now 225 students are there. Thank you guys. Okay, so calculating a running total and input validation loops. So input, for example, I'm taking a simple example. You need to calculate total, that is the topic only, nothing is there. Okay. So here I like input some integers to calculate the total. Input 0 to exit. I'm just giving the condition like input 0 to exit. That is nothing but validation. Okay. That means so here first let me run this program, and you will definitely know what is the meaning and all. Okay. So for example, this is the program to find the sum of the given elements. Whatever the elements you entered in the runtime, so the sum will be printed. That is the concept. Now, and the topic name is called as a running total, calculating running total. That's all. Okay. So now let me execute it first, and I am getting that input some integers to calculate the total. Input 0 to exit. That means you have to input some numbers. I am giving 50. I am giving 30. Okay. I am giving 10, and you have to enter up to 0. For example, 0 is the exit condition. You can give any number of elements, not only 1, 2, 3, 4. You can give up to 100 or 1000 elements. Okay. 0 is the terminating character. That means I written the 0 as a exit condition. Okay. You can take any other constant also. That's not an issue at all. Let me give it 0. So now what is the total for these 3 elements? Can you please tell me in the chat box? I just want to know about how many are listening. Yes, fine. Thank you for your confirmation. I just want to listen from all of you. So I'm in college, okay? So that's not an issue. Okay, fine. Thank you guys. Thanks for the response. Okay. So let me run. Now I will get 90. So total of the given numbers are 90. So I'm getting the total of the given numbers are 90. So that means I'm getting the total 90 because 50 plus 30 plus 10, that is equal to 90. So 0 is the terminating character. That's all. Okay. So for example, here I'm giving input some integers to calculate the total. This is only printf condition. This is the print statement only. Count equal to 0. I'm taking a count equal to 0. So count is for to count, that means sum. Okay. So for example, I am taking the count means if the count equal to 0, input some numbers, it will get some error like this. Okay. That means if you are not giving any single number, then it will give the input some numbers, you will get that line. Okay. That's the reason I'm taking a variable called count equal to 0. So sum equal to 0. Sum equal to 0 means I'm taking a sum variable because here sum is initialized plus number. That's the reason I'm taking this number. Okay. So number equal to 1. So by default I'm taking number equal to 1. So because we have to enter into the condition, that's the reason only I'm taking like this. Okay. So while number not equal to 0, first check number not equal to 0. I'm taking 1 actually, right? So 1 not equal to 0. 1 not equal to 0 is containing number equal to int of input. That means I'm giving empty. That means whatever the number you are taking, that is the first number is stored in number. The first number is stored in number. That means 50. The number value is 50. That means old value 1 will be removed here. Okay. So why? Because I am taking 1 here to enter into the loop only. That's the reason only I am taking like this. Okay. So here sum equal to sum plus number. Sum equal to means sum is the I'm by default I am giving like 0 only. 0 plus number. That means 0 plus 50. What is the 0 plus 50? 50 only. So now sum is stored like 50 only. So now I am writing like I'm just writing sum value is 50 here. Okay. Next count equal to count plus 1. Count is 0. That means the first element you have given here, that is called count. Count equal to count plus 1 means count is 1 now. Count is 1 now. Now for example here while is the condition here. So it will not enter into the if condition. It will enter into the again while loop. Calculating running total, that means you have to calculate the total for that particular element. That's it. It's just like a sum of n numbers what we have discussed in last class. But here we are giving like validation. That means at the runtime we are checking with the whenever you are entering the 0, that is the exit condition. I'm just giving a validation like that. Okay. So here I'm giving now it is entered into the loop again. So number not equal to 0. What is number not equal to 0 means here what is the number we have assigned 50. So that means whenever it is there here, whenever you are entering to the again loop, whatever the value you are giving here 30. Now 30 will be, that means because you are entering up to 0, right? So all these elements will be taken in the number variable. All these elements will be taken into the number variable. So now it will be entered into the 30. So number equal to 30 now. Sum equal to sum plus number. Sum is already 50. 50 plus 30 is 80. So now sum contains 80. And count equal to count plus 1. Count means now count will be 2 because earlier it is 1. Okay. So then again it will check number not equal to 0. Again what number I am giving here? 10. So 10 not equal to 0. Condition is true again. So that means that number, 1 minute. Here number is 1 minute. Okay, it will be 1 only. That's not an issue. Okay. So that means here I am taking number equal to int of input means 10. So sum equal to sum plus number means sum is already 80. 80 plus 30 is called 80 plus 10 is called 90. 80 plus 10 is called 90. Okay. So then number equal to sum equal to 90. Sum equal to 90. I'm just writing sum equal to 90 here. Okay. So count equal to count plus 1. That means count will be 3 now. Count will be 3 now. So what number I am assigning then? 0. While number not equal to 0, that means 0 not equal to 0. So 0 not equal to 0 is condition is false, right? So then it will skip from the while loop. It will go to the if condition. Count equal to 0. What is the count value? What is the count value? Count value is in that case 3. But we did not forget that because we have given 3 elements, right? 3 double equal to 0. That is condition false. Total of the given numbers are, it will go to the else part. Sum will be printed. Sum is 90. So that is the reason I am giving 90 here. Okay, I am getting 90 here. Okay. So this is the way to calculate the total. That is just like he mentioned like a syllabus topic. Okay, it is just an example. Calculating running total means you just want to calculate a total. That's all. Okay. So you can write a program of sum of n numbers also. That is not an issue at all. Okay. So whatever you are convenient, you can write. That's not an issue. Okay. So 1 minute guys, I would like to tell 2 examples and I think you like the next example definitely. I'm giving example 2 now. So I promised you at the time of string methods, I discussed some methods like is lower, is upper, is digit, right? So in that case, I have explained one problem, one real-time problem to check whether the given number is a mobile number is a valid or not. In the same way, you can also find that Aadhaar number. I have given an assignment called Aadhaar number. Okay, whether the given Aadhaar number is a valid or not. In the same way, I will give you a real-time example to validate the password. Okay, so in the question I have given like input validation loops. That means input can be validated through loops. That is the concept. That's the reason in the previous example, whatever the example I have written here, the input can be validated whenever you are giving 0. The exit condition is there. 0 not equal to 0. You can give any number, not only 0. If you would like to mention -1 as a terminating character, you can give -1, not equal to -1. So I'm giving like input whenever I'm giving input 0, it will be exit. I'm just writing that in that way only. That's all. Okay. So let me copy this code. This is a real-time example. I have already told that whenever according to cyber security rules, whenever you are having a passwords, like if it is a combination of capital letter and combination of lowercase letters, okay, and I think you know already. Okay, so that is the it will be done by majority of the cyber security experts will discuss like that. Okay, so whenever you would like to, basically whenever you are having a Wi-Fi or a password like even your Gmails, okay, you just put a password like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so many Wi-Fi password like put like that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. They can easily trace definitely. Okay, so even your Wi-Fi can be used with your neighbors also. Okay, automatically, because why they are putting those password I don't know actually, but that is not the good thing actually. Okay, whenever you need to just even your Gmail also, if you are having a Gmail account, definitely don't give your mobile numbers as passwords. Okay, so sometimes some will give 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, they will give like that only for easy remembrance. Why you are forgetting your password? Okay, that should be minimum. Okay, there should be minimum knowledge you have to remember. If you forget itself, you will have a forget password option, right? So in the same way, for example, even TCS code better registration or any bank passwords, you should give one capital letter, one lowercase letter, one digit, and one special character like that. Okay, so earlier I already discussed about this, but I did not cover the for loop concepts there. That's the reason only I skipped that concept. So anyway, for this topic, so this is also I am giving one example. I am just writing an example. So to check whether the given password is correct or not. Okay. So let me run it. The program will look like very long and very lengthy, but don't think like that. Don't see the length also. Okay. Let me run it. I will explain, then you will understand definitely. Okay, it's very easy. You can write it by own. Okay, no problem at all. I am writing like just Kumar BVC. It is wrong actually, because whenever you are used to perform like a valid password, the password must contain a capital letter and a small letter and any special character and digits. Okay, the four should be there. I am giving Kumar BVC. I am getting invalid password, and let me run again. So enter your password. I'm giving like K capital. I'm just giving, instead of A, I'm giving @R. I'm just giving like 456. Okay. Even here, uppercase letter is there, lowercase letter is there, special character is there, digit is also there. That this is the correct password. This is very impossible to trace. Also, even hackers also they are having a lot of tools to track the password. Okay. Even today, our PM Twitter account also hacked. That means he may just give a password very easily, I think. Okay, so that's the reason only. So just I'm giving like here KVM@R456. I'm just giving like valid password. I'm getting like a valid password. How I'm getting this? So I will explain. This is a real-time example actually. Why I am giving here this? Here I'm validating our code with loops. So this is under the category of validating loops concept. Okay. So validating using loops. Okay. Input validating. So I'm taking L. L is for lower. U is for upper. Okay. P. What is P here? Okay. P is for special character. And 1 minute. And okay. D is for digit. I'm taking 4 values as 0000. S equal to input of enter your password. S equal to input of enter your password. So if I am giving like KUM@R456, okay. So let me write here. This is actually I am giving input now. This is called string. This is called string because string is a group of characters. I am just giving input only. I am not giving any integer here. By default, input function will take only string values. Okay. So if length of S is greater than or equal to 8, you know already the password minimum length should be 8, like that. Okay, so you will get that alerts also. Okay, but I'm not adding that much because even the code is lengthened here. That's the reason I'm just minimizing the code here. See, if length of S is greater than or equal to 8, okay, that means I'm giving Kumar 456 like this. That means 5 plus 3, 8 characters. Okay, 8 is greater than or equal to 8. Now the condition is true. So that means even if you are giving like password KUM@R45, it will not enter into the loop because the password minimum length should be 8 characters. Okay. So if you would like to give 6 characters only, you can give the condition greater than or equal to 6. That's all. Okay. So length of S is greater than or equal to 8. That means this condition is true now because I am giving 8 characters. 8 greater than or equal to 8. That is true absolutely. For I in S, that means it will take, the for always takes the first character. Okay, the first, that means whenever you are having string, the I always looks the first character of the particular string. That's the reason I already told in the for loop, if you are giving like for with strings concept, for in if you are giving any string, I just give an example like Python. So PYTHON, you will get the values like that. Okay, I already explained that concept earlier. Okay, so now I contains capital K. Now it will check if I dot is lower. If this condition will fail because K is not in lower condition, right? The lower condition. So it will skip to the this while loop. Now K dot is upper. That it means it returns true. because k is in uppercase letters. Okay, so whenever it is in uppercase, u plus equal to 1, that means u equal to u plus 1, that means uppercase I am taking like 0 only. Now the upper characters in my password are 1, uppercase characters are 1, so it will not executed another if case because this is already done. So then it will go to the again to the for loop, it will go to the for loop again. Okay, automatically, because there is no increment operation here. Whenever s takes k letter, it will take the next character automatically. Okay, so now I'm giving u here, now I'm giving u here, so that means the next character will be pointed out in I dot is lower. Yeah, u is in lowercase only. Now l value is 1. That means it returns true here, right? So is dot layer is a function which returns true if it is a lowercase. I already told you guys, okay? Because I covered a lot of functions and not only single function, okay? So even no one will tell like that, okay? So I covered most of the inner methods also, okay? So is lower, it returns true value. So that's the reason it will execute l value is 1. Again it will check the for loop because that condition is true means it will not execute the remaining if cases, okay? Because it is matched here. Now it will take m, now it will take m, so again m dot is lower. Yes, m is lower only, that means 1 plus 1, that means now 2. Lowercase letters are 2 now, lowercase letters are 2 now. Okay, so then it will take at the rate, then it will take at the rate I is at the rate dot is lower, that is condition false. At the rate dot is upper, that is also condition false. At the rate dot is digit, this is also false. Now it will enter into this condition. At the rate equal to at the rate, yes. Or if I would like to give special character like dollar or underscore, that is also valid. If you would like to add a star, slash, question mark and all, you need to specify all conditions in if loop, if condition here. Okay, so that must be there. Okay, if of I equal to at the rate, so it is matched here. That means whenever one condition is false, that's not an issue, because at the rate equal to at the rate, it will true. That means p equal to 1 means special characters are 1. Special characters was 1, because special character is nothing but already s is there as string. That's the reason I'm taking p variable. So now s equal to 1, that means special characters are 1. Okay, so then again it will check r, so that means r is in lowercase, that means again lowercase letters will be incremented to 1. So in the same way 4, what I'm giving 4 here, that means 4 means is lower, that is false. It will check is digit. Okay, so d equal to now d plus 1, d is initially 0, d plus 1 means the digit 4 is a digit that it will give 1 value. Okay, so d increments to 1, that means in my password 1 digit is there. Again it will check 5 and 6 also, that means total number of digits should be 3 according to my password, and lowercase letters are 3. I'm directly writing here. Okay, so this is the way it will calculate. Now it will check the condition. Okay, because for loop will end, because whenever the all characters are completed in a given string, so it will skip to the if condition. L greater than equal to 1, that means minimum number of uppercase letters, minimum number of lowercase letters should be 1, right? So because whenever you are giving a password, if you are giving one uppercase letter, one character, one lowercase letter, one special character, one number, it will take only 4 values, right? But because the password contains more than 4 characters, that means we can repeat the uppercase letters or numbers. For example, I am repeating the number 4, 5, 6. If I am giving one number also, it is valid. That's not an issue at all. But the length should be 8, right? So now it will check the condition. If L greater than equal to 1, L value is 3. That means 3 greater than equal to 1. Because why I am giving greater than equal to 1? I am telling clearly. Listen. That means minimum lowercase letter should be 1. Even why you are giving greater than, because our password contains more than 4 characters. Okay, so that's the reason I am giving greater than equal to. In the same way, I am giving u greater than equal to 1, uppercase greater than equal to 1, and I am giving a logical and symbol. That means you all should be, if all these are only true, then only it will give valid password. Otherwise, it will give wrong password. Okay, so now p greater than equal to 1, that means special characters also greater than equal to 1, and digits also greater than equal to 1. All conditions are true because letters are 3, that is 3 greater than equal to 1 is true. U is uppercase letters are 1 is there, that means 1 greater than equal to 1, that is also true. And I am taking p is there, special characters are taking like at the rate, that is also true. And again d greater than equal to 1, d is I have already given 3 digits in your password, 3 greater than equal to 1 is also true. Okay, so now I am giving I am checking one more condition that is not required actually, but why I am giving here, I will tell you guys. I will tell you. Okay, so I am giving a one more condition like L plus U plus D equal to length of S. That means you can calculate here total number of special characters 1, minimum digits 3 plus 1 4, uppercase letter 1 5, and lowercase letters 3 5 plus 3 8. 8 equal to length of S. That means length of S is 8. So if it is all true, then it will get a valid password. Otherwise, I will get invalid password. Okay. So this is the example explanation. Hope you understand, guys. This is the best example, I think so. Real-time example I am giving because whenever you are entering into the any. Okay. Thank you for your response in the chat box. Well explanation. Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay. So let me give a wrong value. Let me give a wrong value, guys. I'm giving K U M @R and I'm giving ASDF. Here uppercase letter is there, lowercase letter is there, special character is there, but there is no number. Again it will get invalid password. That means our program is absolutely correct. Okay, so hope you understand, guys. Thanks for your response in the chat box. Okay, so I will move quickly by, guys, because I don't want to waste your time. We have a lot of concepts to study. So now please come into the, again I'm giving to the topic calculating a running total. Okay, if you're not familiar with this example, you can leave it. You just go through the n of n × n plus 1 by 2 formula. That is very easy. Okay, I'm just reading this because of the number should be read from runtime. That's the reason why I'm giving this example. And input validation loops, that means input is validated means our password is validated by using for loop. Okay, I'm writing in this way. So that's the reason only I'm getting like input value validation in loops. So this is the concept. Actually the syllabus topic is not clear actually. They have to mention very clear. That means input validation in loops. They have to give like that way. But input validation loops is, that's not a good meaning. Even calculating running total means what is running total? Which running? Is it running practice? It's not a good idea actually, but it should be like meaningful, like summation. That should be very meaningful summation. Okay, yeah, but anyway, I don't want to comment you guys. Anyway, so leave it. So this is the topics I have to cover in unit 1. I think most of the concepts completed. I will send the notes. Don't worry. I'm giving Kumar 789. Once again, I'm repeating. If you want to add more characters, you can add all the characters. Okay, but it can be done in so many ways, guys. It can be done in so many ways because I practice so many programs. But if I open all those programs, you may confuse. But I will just show. I don't want to explain. I will just show. So this is also one of the example I have practiced for when I'm preparing the class. Let me explain. I don't want to explain. I will just show. Okay. So if you like this way, you can go through it. That's all. Okay. So this is also one of the way to find the password. Whether the given password should contain all the alphabets and numbers and special characters and so lowercase and uppercase also. This is also one of the way. Okay. So I am telling, guys, import RE. RE is a regular expression. This is a predefined module we have as like math module and operator module. So password, I'm just giving a input create password. Create a password, it will give like that. X equal to true means I'm giving a random variable, boolean variable like x equal to true. And while of x means while is always true. That means it will go to the infinite loop. If length of password less than 6, that means if the password less than 6 or length of password greater than 12, so passwords not between, they may get like L. That means it's a rule. It's less than 6 will not be like, and the greater than 12 is also, it is possible. Okay, and I'm giving like or only. The password length between 6 and 12, please. It will get a message like this. For example, if you're giving a 5-letter password, 5 less than 6 condition false, 5 greater than 12 condition false. Both conditions are false means it will get that like that. And a break is a condition, exit condition. I will tell you today what is a break and all. And elif not re.research. Here the first condition is true, then it will check elif part. It will check re.search of capital A to Z. In you have to specify the square box like A to Z, comma password. Okay, that means password is a variable here. So you just compare with that. RE.search means If the password contains capital A to Z, it will search automatically whether it is there or not. If there is no small case letters are there in your password, you need at least one lowercase letter. It will get an error like this, okay? And it will break, it will terminate, because there is no switch case statement. So else if only used the break statement here. In C language and Java, there is no break statement in else if, like, okay? You will just use it in if else in that way only, and you can use in the switch case also. So but here elif is a multi-way statement. There is no switch case statement in Python. That's the reason they are giving break statement here. Next it will check L. If not is a keyword, whether it is there or not, okay? So we already know not in and we already studied all the concepts, right? So all that search of 0 to 9 password, that means whether the password contains numbers or not. If the password does not contain any number, you need at least one number. It will get an error like this, okay? So you again it will check the capital letters. Again it will check the special characters like 3, what I mentioned in the earlier example. So and if there are any spaces also, it will check like this /s. If I am giving a password like with space, it will execute like you cannot have blank spaces in your password, okay? So these are the various conditions, because regular expression contains all the possibilities, okay? So print valid password x equal to false. That means if all are true, then x returns false. Whenever it is false, while statement will be false, because x false means while statement will not be executed, okay? So let me run it, okay? Actually I don't want to tell you these much examples. I'm just telling because just I compared to the above program, it may be tough, I think so. That's the reason only I prefer the previous example to explain you, okay? So let me create a password right now. I'm just giving, like, I'm not giving a special character, okay? So it is getting like this message because I'm not giving uppercase letter, okay? So again I same program. It is that means whenever it is uppercase letter is missing, it will give like that, okay? So again, even if I will give like Kumar BVC 9, I'm missing the special character now. You need at least one special character, please. Now I will run the same program with all the possibilities, what the basic password requirements. Whenever you are having a bank account, it should be, the password should be all the characters and the small letters and everything. So I would like to mention this code. If you want to execute this code, I will send in the chat box, guys. So okay, so I don't want to share this in the notes, so I'm just sending here. Let me continue. So what is break and all? I think many of the students from may don't know. I will explain if possible today. So otherwise I will first, according to the syllabus, I have to cover one topic, okay? Because all the concepts are completed here, all the topics are completed here. You can check. I don't want to leave at least a single topic, okay? So you can check here, the comparing strings option is there here. So okay, if we completed this topic, the entire unit 1 is completed 100%, and also unit 2 also 90% we have completed. Only one topic, these topics only there, okay? I will explain anyway. So next, so I would like to compare in two strings. Now I think you all know how to compare a string. This is already earlier, we already know, okay? I will move a little bit faster. I don't want to execute. If you want me to execute, I will execute. Okay, please mention in the chat box. Like, it is very easy, guys, okay? So hope you understand. Listen carefully, guys. How to compare a string? So I think what is a string, you know already. So string is a group of characters. String is a group of characters and a collection of characters. Whatever the characters are there in the keyboard, those are nothing but the characters, okay? So even you can, string means you can give a space, a @ star and all, everything, okay? So by using equal to operator, by using not equal to equal operator, by using sorted method, by using is operator, by using comparison operator, okay? So earlier you have any doubt with equal to and is operators and not equal to operator, you may I think it will be clear today itself, okay? So comparing two strings using equal to operator, you know what is equal to? Equal to is a comparative operator or a relational operator, you know, like, okay? So I'm giving like let me change a color to one for understanding purpose. I'm just changing the color. str1 equal to enter the first string, enter the second string. If str1 double equal to str2, first and second strings are equal. And especially I would like to one thing guys for the second CSC students, whenever it is asked in the examination, comparing two strings means you don't want to explain all the 5 methods. In the syllabus also they did not mention anything, okay? So even in the textbooks also, curriculum textbooks also, they mentioned only one example. But why I am giving 5 examples? For understanding purpose only, and it may be useful for your future. That's the reason only I am telling. Okay, if you are preparing all the 5 concepts here, so you may, because for Python subjects only you have to prepare at least 1 week. Okay, so if the examinations are conducting in that way, okay, so don't think in that way. You just prepare at least one topic. Okay, so once again I am telling, now str1 equal to enter the first string. I am giving Kumar in the output stream. Enter the second string. Once again I am giving Kumar only. If I am giving a K as a small letter also, it will not be equal. Okay, str1 double equal to str2 means that means equal to is a conditional operator. It will a relational operator. It will check whether the given strings are both are equal or not. If both strings are equal, first and second strings are equal, it will display like this. Okay, if the both strings are not equal, it will give first and second strings are not equal. Or you can display like both the strings are equal or both strings are not equal. You can declare that message also. That's not an issue. So I think you may understood, right? If you want me to execute, definitely I will execute. I will mention in the chat box. I will move a little bit faster. I have to cover a lot of concepts because yesterday I did not take the class due to heavy work of MSET. So hope you understand this. Okay, comparing two strings using not equal to operator. Okay, so let me execute this program anyway. Okay, so str1 equal to enter the first string, enter the second string. If str1 not equal to str2, first and second strings are not equal. That means I am just changing a message not equal here because I am giving a not equal to operator. So first and second strings are equal otherwise. Okay, so let me copy this code. I am giving a output like enter the string Kumar BVC. I am giving Kumar. The first and second strings are not equal. It will give you the message like this. Okay, so let me run this example. So this is called string comparison. That's all over. This is the concept only. That's all. So string comparison. Enter the first string. I am giving Kumar. Enter the second string. I am giving BVC. First string and second strings are not equal. Yes, it is true. I will give BVC ITS. BVC ITS. Both strings are equal. The first and second strings are equal. Let me give another example. I am giving Python. I am giving Python again. Okay, but I am getting are not equal because here you can see the difference. The first letter what I have given here, P is a small letter. Here I am giving a capital letter. So even though because both are same, it will not be show like equal because according to ASCII rules it may not be same. You already know which one is big. Tell me guys, which one is big? I have already explained the concepts in maths. Which one is big? First string S1 or S2? I am giving P as a capital letter in S1, P as a small letter in S2. Which one is big? Excellent, excellent guys. Thank you very much guys. Yes, Python small letters, that is S2 is a big maximum string because Python compared to capital P, the ASCII value of small p is a large number. That's the reason we are getting small Python having S2 is greater than. You can check that. That is also string comparison. You not only use equal to not equal to operator, you can use greater than symbol, less than symbol, whatever it may be, whatever you want. Okay. So if you want to check it equal to condition, if you want to check equal to condition, I did not execute it there, right? Just check, just give equal to. But instead of you have to give equal here, you have to put like not equal here. That's all. So these are the two ways. Even in the examinations also, you no need to remember all the things. If you are listening the class very carefully, you no need to prepare for the exams actually. Okay. So I will always use to tell like that way. Okay. So but the student's mind is not that much capacity because you have to study all the concepts. Not only Python, you have a lot of subjects. Even diploma students are also writing the exam today. I think you don't know, okay, but definitely we'll have 1-2 exams. I don't want to bother you guys. Please prepare 1-2 subjects as well, okay, because many faculties are having invigilations and some other works. Reason only they are not taking time. Okay, so please listen carefully. Diploma third year and second students are also having exams from October 3rd itself. So how even that means the diploma means they are only lower graduates compared to yourself, right? So please guys, you should prepare 1-2. Even in so many students applied for revaluation. What happened? Only 5 students I think so passed in the revaluation in of 1-1. So please guys, you should prepare 1-2 subjects also, okay. So it's my request. I'm giving like string here. I'm giving 1, 2, 3. You can compare numbers also. Giving 1, 2, 3. Both can also be string because string is a group of characters. The characters includes numbers and whatever the keyboard characters are there. All are characters. Next. Comparing two strings using sorted method. So this maybe you don't know. I will tell you guys. What is sorted method? I will tell you. For example, I'm using a sorted method here. See, it's just like a funny thing. It's not a big problem at all. So sorted method means, for example, I'm just using a str1. Before that, I'm using like sorted off str1 and sorted off str2. Okay, so this is a function actually. So whenever you're giving sorted off str1, if I'm giving a string like bvc space kumar, in the second string I'm giving kumar bvc, but the order is different. I'm giving 2 words and in a different way, but it will get the same result. That means the first and second strings are equal only. Okay, it will compare like that, because here I just bvc in capital letters and k is a capital letter. Here also I mentioned like that. So you can just read here. If we wish to compare two strings and check for their equality, even in the order of characters or words is different. Even in the characters also different. Okay, you need to like sorted. That the sorted method itself, it will take the given strings into sorted order. That's the reason only you will get the same result. That means if the both strings are equal like that. Let me execute it because I think it is new concept to you, right? So that's the reason I would like to execute. Enter the first string. I'm just giving RAMUK. Okay, I'm just giving Kumar. First and second strings are equal. So you can specify here K is a capital letter here, and I am giving Ramu, and it will be sorted order. That is, sorted function will return the elements, whatever the string values will be printed like sorted order. That's the reason only it will compare the both strings are equal. Again, I will run the program. Even you given the space also, it will take like Kumar BVC like that. Okay, so I will run the concept. I will run the program again. So I will just write QWERTY. Okay, I'm writing like ERWWT like this. That means all letters are same. First and second strings are equal. It will give the value like this. So let me run it again. I'm giving capital BV, small c. I'm giving C, capital B and small v. Here not equal because capital V is not there in the second string. That it will display like not equal. Okay, you can also use like sorted means, for example, if you're giving S1, if you would like to understand better, if I'm giving like, for example, if I'm giving like KUMAR here, okay, you can do a lot of examples here. Okay, then only you can understand. Print, I'm just giving a print of sorted of S1. When you want to know about the particular what is that method used, you should create a one single program. Then only you will understand programming, right? Okay. So I will run, boss. I will run. So I'm giving S1 equal to Kumar. Print sorted of S1. Can you tell me what is the output, guys? Can you tell me, please? More than 250 students are there here. I would like to ask you guys. It will be sorted order, I'm asking. Likta, you asked in the last class, you asked one doubt regarding equality. So actually float and integers cannot be equal at all. But according to numeric data types rules, it is getting the same. Okay, I gone through some websites also. So AKMRU, many of the students are writing like a AKMRU. Okay, I'm getting AKMRU. That's absolutely correct because as alphabetical U is the last letter, A and O past B. So you can think like that, it will get sorted out. That's the reason I'm getting the sorted method like this. So I think, hope you understand, guys. This is the way you think. This is the way you think, okay? So, no thanks, Likita. If you ask such questions, I may also know because I really unexpected in that question actually. Even C and Java does not perform like that. According to numeric rules, does like that. Okay, I think you know that what is operator. We already completed is operator, the member operators like that. Okay, so I have given, I think many students have got some doubt in that. According to is Python, in Python is operator works upon only objects, only works on objects. It can, that means whenever you are having two values, then you should prefer equal to symbol and not equal to symbol like that. Okay, so that's the reason I'm giving same object instance. But you don't know about what is an object and all. It will cover again, I think in the unit 4 itself, because object oriented concepts is not there in the first 3 units. But don't worry, I will give you a simple example for your understanding purpose. Okay, but it will not, according to runtime, it will give wrong result. That's the reason I'm taking directly str1 equal to Kumar, str2 equal to Kumar. If you are giving str1 is str2, then it will give true. That's all. Is means it will check the both values or depends on the same object or not. How do you know about the object means based on the ID it will works. That means object IDs. So I already told one function like ID. I think the first 2 days class. I think today 18th 9th. Actually we started the class on 17th August. So almost 1 month completed, guys. Okay. So at that time I told that. So whenever you are having is, it's just like an ID operator. For example, it will give str1 is str2. I'm giving like it will give true only. That means this is also way to just compare the two strings. I'm just giving Kumar is Kumar. Yes, both are same. It will return true. If I'm giving like Kumar BVC here, okay, so it will give false. Okay, so it will work if you're giving like str1 here. Okay, so and if you're giving like print of id of str2, okay, so id of str2, that means both ids will be printed like it's like a, and some students also asked me in the feedback link, so id is just like a memory, sir. They asked it like that. Yes, that is the memory purpose only, because you may get different result in your system. Okay, according to C language, okay, a is a